Good afternoon, everyone. How you doing? Wow, typical Finnish response. How are you guys doing?
Woo! Almost a little bit better. Hey, my name is Trent Pansy. I'm the project manager of the team that we have playfully been calling YLE because we are a demo project working for the client YLE. So we mashed them together for a little bit of fun. Before I get too far ahead of myself, I would be remiss if I didn't introduce my team. So please, guys.
I'm Raul from Finland. I'm working on a technical. I'm Thiago from Brazil, 3D and technical stuff.
Hey, I'm Rosana from I'm Laura. I'm from Catalonia. I'm a designer.
And I'm from the States and project manager. We went over that. So we were approached with an interesting problem. We had a very vague, we were addressed with a very vague problem. They have a virtual studio at YLE, and they asked us to have ways that their hosts could interact with some of the graphics and motion capture in real time. Now, without spending a lot of money, that's very difficult to do. So we spent a little while, we brainstormed, and what we came up with was using augmented reality. So the problem is, how can you make green screen programming more engaging? We've all seen those TV shows where there's a host standing in front of a green screen, and there's videos or pictures or something happening behind them, but there's not a lot of interaction. So we wanted to find a low-cost way to solve this problem. Augmented reality. It allows for real-time interaction between the host and the 3D graphics. It cuts costs of labor and time spent in post-production. It adds fun, interactive, and exciting new elements into the current programming, which is important that it's the current programming, so they don't have to come up with new shows. And maybe most importantly is it adds the human touch back into the virtual studio. So augmented reality is essentially taking markers such as these, and the markers can be anything at all, and you code into them so that there's a graphic that pops out once it's fed through a certain stream that we can make these high-tech studio quality cameras, HD cameras, we can make them now read these markers so that the TV at home can be seen, so that you can see the 3D graphics. So, much like the last two before, I think it's easier if we show you what we're talking about instead of just talking about it. So we've come up with a couple different ways that we can actually integrate this into the programming, the current programming. First of all, storytelling through virtual pop-up books. So if you look over here, we have, and you can see Thiago, he's holding a marker. On that marker, it's just that code, right? But over here, this pops out an animation that we pre-animated, and as soon as the camera sees it, it starts the animation going. So that's a great tool that you can use for storytelling in, say, Pico Gothman or some of those other programs that they have. The next that we've come up with is real-time interaction between the hosts and the augmented reality. In this case, sorry, we have to switch files here. In this case, we've designed a virtual background, so it's a forest and some mountains and things like that. And when Thiago covers these buttons, he can make it bigger, he can make it smaller, and different things like that. You can actually start and stop animation anytime you want to. You can do simple things like rotating it, other things like that. It's up to you how you want to integrate it. This is just the way that we use for a demonstration. And perhaps the most exciting is connecting the augmented reality with a Microsoft Kinect. So this is the really fun way that you can use, you can have a Kinect, we have a Kinect set up right here, and we have Rosana. And she's going to be, the Kinect will sense her movements. And those movements are rigged up to a character that we've created, and we made a panda just for the fun of it. As the Kinect tries to find her. So here's our panda. You're off a little bit. There she is. And as soon as I recognize it, you can see that the panda, she takes over the panda's movements. So she can wave her arms, she can go up and down, she can even lift her legs, different things like that. The beautiful thing is Thiago is holding this, so the host can actually sit and talk to the panda, they can high-five each other, they can interact in different ways. Now, of course, we don't have any audio or facial or phalangeal movements yet, but that's, in time, we'll get to those things. So the best thing of all with augmented reality is that the opportunities are really limitless. If you Google it and go on YouTube, you can see people have done some crazy things. They've made it so they put a marker on the wall, and they do a sort of an inlaid animation, so it looks like there's a hole in the wall, and you can look like you're peering down into the hole. You can do it so you can put it on a t-shirt and have an extra arm coming out of your shirt. And now that we've done the work of making it so the cameras can see that, they can use it for anything they want at the studio. So while competitors are struggling and spending lots of money to develop new technologies, we saw the opportunity in old technologies to combine them together in new ways with new results. So with augmented reality, we're bringing that human touch back into the virtual studio. Thanks. Yeah.